I, like many people, took my ACT assessment in my junior year and I happen to have gotten a 17. Does that mean that I'm overall a less intelligent person? Or does that mean I'm just not a good test taker? The Merriam-Webster dictionary defines intelligence as, first, the ability to learn or understand or to deal with new or trying situations. It only describes as mental acuteness, second. So, does that mean I'm less intelligent? Does that mean I'm equally as intelligent as everybody else? Give me about 2 minutes and I'll explain. In a research article by Latasha Holden and Sarah Hart, they state that the current standard of intelligence is outdated and needs changing. It's based on stereotypes and doesn't reflect reality. A more scientific view of intelligence is the interaction of cognitive processes, not a fixed ability, and can create a fairer society. This approach helps address issues like stereotype threat. The stereotype threat threatens different groups of people on different paths that affects their perceived intelligence, which sets them up for a path of lower incomes, poor health, and higher mortality, lower well-being, and other poor adult outcomes, which negatively impacts achievements and the well-being for many groups, and provides a better understanding of learning disabilities, moving beyond the limitations of the IQ achievement discrepancy model. Ultimately, a more accurate definition of intelligence can lead to a better outcome for everybody. In an opinion piece by Amy Sequenzia, she claims that intelligence is an ableist concept and says that people who have physical disabilities are seen as people who are less intelligent, but people who are seen to have higher intelligence are respected on a higher level and put, more important of a person. She points out the flaws in IQ testing, particularly its bias against disabled individuals who may lack to access, to education or have different learning styles. Well, also, pretty great sentence says that being human should be sufficient enough to deserve rights and respect regardless of their intelligence level. I think, that's common sense, but we as a society view people in trade jobs and labor jobs as less intelligent. But, sometimes it's not so true. A study done by California State University showed that garbage men, people who we sometimes view as less important, less intelligent, are intelligent. They went through a study where they had an issue. They found that it was taking too much time to go through their routes. The time that it would take to get to a neighborhood, get off the truck, go to a house, grab a trash can, get back to the truck, dump the trash can, take the empty trash can back, get back to the truck, and repeat the cycle would take too much time. They'd still get the work done, but it was taking longer than it really should. And a worker came up with the idea of, well, why don't we just take the empty trash can with us? They would go to a neighborhood, get off the truck, grab a full trash can, bring the trash can back to the truck, empty the trash can, and instead of walking the trash can back, then having to walk back to the house, they took the empty trash can with them, drove to the next house, and as they're walking to grab a full trash can, they take the empty trash can, swap them out, go back to the truck, dump, go to the next house. And they found that cut the time basically in half. Researchers say we need to take a more contextual approach to researching intelligence. Not everybody's book smart. Not everybody knows, the best, reading skills. They're not the best at science. They can't do Calc 3, which is impossible anyways, so I don't understand why we need to do it to begin with. But people who are overall smart, people who are great at problem solving, we always will say, oh, that's smart when someone fixed something in a way that, we didn't even think about. But, those people on paper might not be so smart. Excuse me. We need to think about people who are overall smart. They might not be the best on paper, but when it comes to real life scenarios and how great they are at problem solving, back to the garbage men, we think of garbage men as less than smart people. So we need to think that just because someone is in a specific way, you know, when you look at them just by looking at them, just because they look that way or that's their job or they might have a disability, that's their intelligence. We need to think about overall as a person. Guys, you're in an engine bay. Don't hit me. All right, please, for the love of God, work. Ah! It didn't drop. Oh my God, it works. This is so stupid. Can we like take a minute to look at the fact that I'm in an engine, the phone's in an engine bay. I genuinely thought that was, I was cooking. I thought I was cooking. Like, look at this. I think this was really funny, just putting my truck